The phosphate molecule, one of nature's miracles. It helps plants grow.
It's a simple scientific fact. There's no synthetic fertilizer that does what phosphate can do. We bring phosphates to farmers all over the world, literally giving them the tools to be more productive than at any time in human history.
We are Mosaic. We help the world grow the food it needs. Our business brings the unmatched benefits of naturally occurring phosphate to the growers of the world's food supply, safely, affordably, and responsibly. What is phosphate? It's a natural product present in every cell of our bodies, present in every living thing on Earth, and one of the essential nutrients that helps plants grow.
I'm a dirty hand scientist. I have the opportunity to work with farmers out in the real world on their fields, showing them how to move their crop production from 1 metric ton up to 4 metric ton. And when we can do that, we know we're making them more prosperous. They have more crop to feed their family, more crop to sell. That's a lot of fun.
Phosphate is a mineral that's important for healthy bones, brains, teeth, and tissue. And we get phosphate in the most natural, logical way possible, through food.
When people ask me what I do, I say I'm in the crop nutrition business. We're about feeding the soil.
When farmers apply phosphate fertilizer to their fields, they enrich the soil and guarantee the most bountiful harvest possible year after year.
All crops draw nutrients from the soil. Grains of phosphate dissolve in the soil water and literally form a nutritious solution that the young plant roots are able to take up. When they feed on that nutritious solution, they grow stronger, bigger, and healthier.
It's really nothing new. Mankind has used phosphate for thousands of years to grow bigger and better crops, starting with the ancient Greeks, who scattered ground fish bones on their fields. But where does the phosphate we use today originate? About 15 million years ago, the land that is now Florida was completely covered by ocean. Over time, the seafloor rose, causing the nutrient-rich currents to rise to the water's surface, encouraging the growth of abundant marine life. The fish and other prehistoric creatures died, and their teeth and bones drifted to the ocean floor. These fossils contained a vital element called phosphorus. As millions more years passed, the seas slowly receded and the phosphorus-rich sediments were covered over by tons of clay and sand. This compressed the sediments and created vast deposits of what we now call phosphate rock. Florida's Bone Valley region is one of the richest sources of phosphate rock in the world. Its deposits comprise 70% of the United States phosphate rock supply and about 20% of all the phosphate fertilizer used by farmers the world over. Approximately 95% of the phosphate processed in Florida is used by farmers.
Higher yields allow farmers to grow more crops, more produce per acre on less land. When you look at crops grown with phosphate and those grown without phosphate, there's just no comparison.
Mosaic takes pride in bringing a product to the market that has such far-reaching benefits for so many people. As one of the world's leading suppliers of crop nutrients, we are committed to the principles of sustainability in every aspect of our business. When we harvest phosphate, we work to minimize our impact on the landscape, on wildlife, and on the environment. Since it's a natural resource, phosphate rock has to be mined from the ground. There is no man-made substitute. But before we extract one shovelful of earth, teams of Mosaic employees work closely with state, local, and federal planning authorities and painstakingly develop detailed plans. Once safeguards and approvals are in place, large dragline machines uncover the top layers of soil and dig out the clay, sand, and phosphate matrix. The matrix is then mixed with water and pumped to a beneficiation plant, where the phosphate is separated from the sand and clay. While we're doing our important work of helping grow the world's food supply, we also have a responsibility to the ecosystem and communities around us. We don't just work here, We live here too. Mosaic has become a leader in water conservation and water management. In addition, we regularly organize volunteer groups to help beautify our waterways. Water is closely monitored to be protective of nearby preservation areas and the environment downstream. Now that our phosphate has been safely mined, it's transported by rail car to our manufacturing facilities. In the manufacturing process, phosphate rock is turned into a water-soluble form that plants can absorb.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about energy independence these days. We're able to take the heat that's generated from everyday manufacturing and create a tremendous amount of steam. And from that, we create our own electrical power.
While not all of Mosaic sites are energy independent yet, we are continually working to reduce our impact on the surrounding environment. When we finished mining, a temporary use of the land, our goal is to leave the land a better place than we found it.
It truly is a temporary land use. We mine what we need and then we recreate the environment. Restoring the land after we've mined is one of the most important parts of our job. We take it very seriously.
Through reclamation, we leave the land in a natural setting or for productive uses, such as recreational parks, agriculture, and as places for people to build their houses or locate their businesses. Sometimes site visitors don't even realize they're standing in a reclamation area that was once a phosphate mine. Mosaic's reclamation projects have earned honors from the Florida Native Plant Society, the National Association of State Land Reclamationists, the Florida Association of Environmental Professionals, and the National Audubon Society.
We're careful, we're responsible, we follow the rules. If there's a mother osprey building a nest, we've taken down an entire dragline. We've stopped production until she's finished. It costs us money, but we hold ourselves to a higher standard.
I think the more that people know about us and how we do things, the more that they'll respect what we do.
Florida phosphate is a unique resource created by nature that benefits mankind on the most fundamental level. It helps feed us. Phosphate was formed by the primal forces of nature, discovered and cultivated by the resourcefulness of scientists and farmers. It's brought to the markets of the world responsibly and safely through the efforts of tens of thousands of hard-working Floridians, your friends and neighbors.
You have so many specialties just in this industry. Safety experts, scientists, plant workers, so many great people. That's what America needs, more manufacturing. Work gives people pride.
The phosphate business has a major impact on the economy of Florida. Phosphate products are one of the state's leading exports, with an annual value of approximately $2 billion.
We make a real product. It's real. It helps people grow the food they need to live, to feed their families. Then we put the land back. We bring it back. We bring the animals back. We connect the water systems back up. I'm very proud of that.
We've come a long way. We put our best practices in place, and we're moving forward.
I'm passionate about what I do. It's very, very meaningful to me. I live here, and my kids live here as well. We want to make something that lasts.
I like to get out into the field and help farmers see the difference that good nutrition makes on their crop. That feeds the fire in my belly when I know that millions of people enjoy the benefits of what we do every time they sit down to enjoy a healthy meal.
You could say that America and the world grows on Florida phosphate.
The best part of my job is really making a difference.
Mosaic, helping the world grow the food it needs responsibly.